Welcome to the Transformation Institute's podcast for change. Here is our host, OMARI JAHI Aton.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the Transformation Institute podcast for change. I'm your host, OMARI JAHI Aton. And tonight, we're going to, tonight's episode will cover the decline of morality and the path back. I'm glad you guys are here tonight, because this is really a very important subject matter because we really, I don't think we really understand the very importance of morality. But first, I want to introduce my co-host, y'all. So welcome my co-host. What happened to Brenda? Oh, she fell out?
Bring me back. Y'all try to get rid of me?
Oh, I was like, what happened to Brenda?
Yeah, I am.
Put your hands together, your virtual hands together for Kim, Darlene, Brenda, and my man V. Welcome to the podcast. We're going to have a great podcast tonight. I just want to set the stage for this conversation that we're going to have tonight. Have you looked around and lately felt like something fundamental is missing? It's not just the anger we see in traffic or the disrespect on social media. It's the quiet erosion of the golden rule. Y'all know what the golden rule is? Treat people like you want to be treated. That's the golden rule. But it seems to be eroding. You say, we're living in a time where integrity is starting to feel like an old-fashioned concept, and doing what is good has replaced doing what is right. Let me say that again. Doing what feels good. I missed that word. Doing what feels good has replaced doing what is right. We've swapped the village for the individual, and we are paying the price for it. But how do we get here, y'all? And more importantly, how do we find our way back? On today's podcast, we aren't just going to be talking about the problem, but we're going to be digging into the root cause of this moral decline, and we're laying out the blueprint for how we can restore dignity, respect, and community, and starting with the man and the woman in the mirror. That's us, y'all. So, hey, you guys, let me see, who is this? Oh, is that Pooh?
Yes.
Hey, Pooh? Man, this first time she's been on the show. Welcome, Pooh.
Hey, Pooh.
All right. So this golden rule, what do unto others as you would have them do unto you? Is that something that you guys feel is important, or do you feel like it's an outdated thing like the Old Testament? Like the Old Testament, that was way back then. We in the New Testament now. How that's how people are. So is that thing something that's outdated, or you think that's something that we really need to be dealing with now in 2025?
Yes.
I don't think
more
it's
than
outdated.
ever we need to be dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's outdated. I think that a lot of people might not know that as the golden rule. They may not know that's what it is. But I think a lot of people feel like that no matter what they do, even if they do something to others. I think most people feel like that others should do them right. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody feels it. They don't just know it to the degree of living it as a standard. That's just my opinion.
So you don't think it's old-fashioned? People view it as an old-fashioned thing,
No.
like, oh, that's what old people used to do. We ain't got to be worried about that crap.
No, probably some really younger people, and like I said, even some of them believe in it. They just don't know about it to talk about it, but the concept they would believe in. Yeah, I don't think it's old-fashioned. I think people want to be treated the way they treat people. I think even young people who, like I said, don't know that it's the golden rule, I think they still want that concept of being treated right. Yeah. So no, I don't think it's old fashioned.
So I guess I got. Did anybody else want to respond to that before I ask this next question?
I'm waiting on V to respond for.
V already responded.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying, pretty much what Brenda's saying. I think that rule will forever stand. It has to stand for anything to even really change. You know what I mean? That's that golden rule that just like you have to wrap your mind around. It's the law. What goes around comes around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what, the way you treat the way treat others the way you want people to treat you. And that's an issue, and it's been an issue because a lot of people are not treating, people with the respect that they want themselves.
Right.
Now that's another thing. See, David just used the word respect.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just to me. I think when you say treat people with respect, it kind of goes along with like what your V said. How you want to be respected, how you want people to treat you. But it seems like there's a new definition of respect now that's out in the world. Respect is situational now. It's like, so if you disagree with my point of view or something to that effect, and you voice your disagreement strongly, you disrespecting me. Have you all been, have you ever been in a situation where people use the word disrespect, in weird situations? It's almost like it's a thing, like almost like how the Jews use anti-Semite. It's like if you say something against the Jews, that makes you an anti-Semite, which means anti-black. Semite means black, so I don't know how that means. But anyway, that's another story. But I'm saying this thing about disrespect seems to be used in the same kind of manner, whereas if you call me out, on something that I'm saying, or bust me out or whatever, that's disrespect. So maybe it is the same, because what people are saying is don't call me out and I won't call you out. I'm just trying to understand. What do you all think about that?
Well, I personally think we have to figure out what the word disrespect means to someone else. I want to use an example like music, hip hop. And I can remember the song came, Beat That Bee with a Bat.
Right.
And it was so popular, but the tune, the beat, but as time went on, the B word becomes so immune. They don't feel like it's disrespectful.
It's not.
If you're not aware of what is disrespect, like I said, it's going to depend on, and then it's other things like different culture. In my household, kid couldn't say damn. But in other culture, damn is not a bad word. It's not a curse word. So I think it's going to be what culture, what you define as respect yourself. Well, yeah, that's what I'm just saying. It's going to be what your definition is, because what you're going to tolerate. Cursing, I curse. But my kids are not allowed to curse. To me, that's disrespectful, even though I curse. That's an old school tradition, I think, that's passed on. And then some people has been able to say, well, they're not old school, so it's not disrespectful for the kids to curse with them or curse. They don't see that as being disrespectful. Their belief is are different. Some people don't believe that it's not disrespectful about God taking out of the school, and then some do. So it's going to be what we And I think we catching the consequences of our choices of what we allowed to slip through the cracks of being disrespected when we wouldn't even realize we was being disrespected.
I'm feeling what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. You want to say
No,
something?
I was just saying, okay. I was, amening her.
Most definitely. I mean, but isn't that still it kind of goes back to the golden rule, treating people like you want to be treated. So if I created a song and I said in the song beat that bee with a bat, and then somebody came over my house and called my mama a bee, you see what I'm saying? That would be disrespectful, wouldn't it?
But eventually, as time go on, you could be tricked to thinking that it's not being disrespectful because it's a new trend. So you got tricked into believing that it's not disrespectful.
Well, that's my point. That is my point. That's why the title is The Decline of Morality. See, what you're saying is being tricked. That's how morality is declining, because we're being tricked into believing, well, not we on this podcast, but our children and young-minded people are being tricked in believing that calling your woman or your friend, female friend, a bee is cool. You see what I'm saying? Because it's used in rap music. And now it's being made cultural. They're saying it's a cultural term, Well, excuse me, I'm sorry. Female dog has nothing to do with Black culture. Somebody made it Black culture, and we just went along with it. You see what I'm saying?
Well, it's like.
Go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, when you say it's a cultural thing, I agree with that, because now times have changed and people use that B word like beep, but they don't say it like BITCH. They say BIH. They abbreviate it to where it's acceptable now to say it in that form. And just like when people call men simps, that's acceptable because they're using it they spelling it different, meaning that it's acceptable in the culture now. Not necessarily.
What is a simp?
A simple man. It's a simple man.
Okay, I'm lost.
No. I've heard that term before. Simps.
I have never heard that.
No, simps are men. Simps are men that cater to women.
Like pretty much like wimps. They call them simps now.
Okay.
So they transformed that word. So if a man caters to women, he's not a good man. He's a simp.
Right, or he's
another trick.
He's just not a man, but he's a simp, a simple man.
Lord,
it's a cultural thing, and so once you change the words, making it acceptable now to where it's an everyday term, just like the N word. The way they changed it now, it's acceptable. Everybody using it.
I've never heard that, but okay, maybe I hang around old people or something. I don't know. I ain't never heard that word before, ever.
Yeah, it's out there.
See, but this is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. They're changing the definition of things. They're changing the spelling of words, and it's almost just like what Kim was saying. It's supposed to be okay if it's spelled different. It don't mean that because it ain't BITCH. It's BICH or something like that. And if you spell it BIH, and because it's BIH, that doesn't have the same meaning as BITCH.
Right.
But
I think they know that that's the same meaning. I think
it is.
Yeah.
Because
they know
if I went in Kim's house today, if I went to visit, I said, "What up?"
Yeah, they know.
You'd be like, "What the hell you just said?" I said, "No, that's BIH." You wouldn't give a damn about. You wouldn't give a damn about the spelling of it.
But see, you don't say it all the way out though. You say beep, right? That's my beep.
Yeah, no.
Kim knows how to say that. Kim knows how to say that word.
No, either way.
I don't use it because I'm like,
okay.
But people, the culture is changing.
Let me tell you a funny story about my granddaughter, and it was a couple of years ago. And
Welcome,
Highness. She is my granddaughter is 7 now, but a couple of years ago we were at an event for women, some homeless women or something. We were out south, and she was helping me do things, right? And she asked me, she said, I asked her to do something. She looked at me, you know, and her face, like, she said, I asked her something. She said, hell no. I said, look, I was thrown off, right? So I looked at her. She had never said that before. She helps me with little things. She was only about 5 years old, but she's always, you know, really, she's a little crafty. And I looked at her, and I hate that I started laughing because I didn't want her to think that was funny, but she took me by surprise. And then I called her mama, and I told her mama what she said to me. And she said, she asked me, was hell a bad word? And her mama told her, you know, the difference between, you know, like hell and where it was or whatever. And so she thought that that wasn't a bad word to say. And I'm saying that to say the adults and the people around these kids, they have to help these kids with these things. These kids are going to hear words and not understand them, you know, not know what they mean, not know how to use them. And she thought, I don't know, but she used the word hell in the way somebody else would say hell no. I mean, if
she heard it like that. She probably heard somebody use it like that.
Right, but I'm saying she still didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because she was a respectable little girl. She wouldn't have never said that to me if she knew, you know, what that was. She wouldn't have never said that to me. But I think when we're talking and when we're doing stuff, even some of the words that we don't think are very bad words or not used, we don't use them in the wrong way. We have to be cognizant of the fact that small minds are listening to us, hearing us. When you're on the phone talking, when you know, like these young, I have heard them call them, you know, B, whatever. I've heard that, and the other one they calling the word, they embrace that. They like it. It's a good one. I'm a good bee, you know. So we have to be careful when we're talking, and you know, we want to see some change in the world. We just got to be on our P's and Q's all the time, you know. Because when my grandbaby did that, man, I just I almost fell on the floor. But you know, I'm still here. All right.
But you know, and that's, I think that's the point. You know, there's no resistance. You know, nobody's saying, you know, just like, and my wife tell me I need to stop doing this, but I keep using my granddaughter as the example. When I told her about coming in my house wearing a bra, you know, since I said that to her, she has never came over here looking like that again. You see what I'm saying? All it takes is somebody to just make them aware, you know, especially if they respect you and they look up to you or whatever to that effect, you know.
Right. Well, she still respects you. She still respects you. Then she still knows the meaning of it. So
yes,
yeah.
And it wasn't that I was talking about her. I was trying to correct her, you know.
Right.
But some people think that's not, you know, like I've heard, well, she got a mama and a daddy. That's what I heard, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, she got a mama and a daddy, and they let her come out the house like that.
Right.
You know? So somebody got to say something. Maybe I was out of order, but I might have saved this girl's life by saying that, so she would cover herself up. You know, I don't know.
Well, what's happening nowadays too? I hear a lot of even people that I talk to and respect, and you know, when they say something totally different, I'm blown away. But I'm getting all these calls, man. But I hear people say, "Hey, that ain't my problem. Hey, you know, Everybody seems to be like they can't say anything. I tell y'all all the time, in my family, I'm talked about. I'm one of those, because I'm gonna say something, I'll try not to say something. I'll walk into a room and I'll try not to, and that don't last long. But I hear too many people saying that. I'm totally blown away by people, even older people. Well, you can't tell these young people nothing. Yeah, you can.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
sure.
can.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, you
just
can.
say it. Yeah, hey, I
Yes.
say stuff to strangers. I say stuff to kids who's running down the street doing something stupid. I say stuff sometimes, I don't know. I'm not scared yet.
I hear you. Hey,
If they
Nestle,
willing to listen.
What you
what
say, V?
you say?
I said, if they willing to listen.
That's
No,
the
I
key
don't care if
word.
they ain't willing to listen. It just comes out automatically for me. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
that's what I'm
I'm
saying,
sorry.
Brenda. You
It
gotta say
just
something
automatic.
because believe it or not, even though they act like they ain't listening, they do
Right.
listen. They do be
And they
listening.
might hear something. Yeah, they might hear something in what you said. And sometimes they're having that, what you call that, peer pressure. So some of them are doing stuff because their friends are, you know what I'm saying? So if they hear somebody else, one of those kids in that crowd might kind of shrink back, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them might not, but somebody might hear something you said. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not worried about whether they're going to listen to me or whether they like it. I'm not there yet. I'm still out here like, hey, let us help change the world. That's me. I'm
I feel
sorry.
you.
You know,
Go ahead,
I'm,
Nestle.
I'm just chiming in on what you were talking about, Tyrone, and it kind of touches on what you're talking about too, Brenda. In the case where, as you said, well, yeah, your granddaughter does have parents and maybe you were out of line, but sometimes, even though it's a trend that she came in there with, sometimes just knowing that it's not acceptable to the elders means that you'll do things a little different. And she probably never came back around dressed that way based on that fact. And it's no different than when we were younger. You might have known it was something that you couldn't wear, and your mom wouldn't approve of it, but you probably put the jacket on and left the house and took the jacket off so you could wear whatever you wanted to wear when you were out of sight. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like that mentality. So the fact
Yeah.
that she doesn't come around is showing you some level of respect, while at the same time, if she's wearing it, she's knowing, okay, I just won't wear it there because it's not looked upon good, by my elders. And I
Mhm.
Right.
think everything that we do now, well, that they do now, we've in some kind of sense did back then too. It's
Something
just
true.
about the respect level.
Yeah.
Sometimes nowadays they don't respect their elders, and we did. That's all.
Yeah.
You and I'm glad you said that, Vanessa, because
Yeah.
you know, it's like we've become our parents now. As
We
as
are.
we've gotten older, we've become the parents now, and we understand now from our parents' perspective how they was on us and everything when we were younger. And if we are parents now and we don't be on our children like our parents were on us and we just let them do what they want to do, then I believe that's where this decline in morality and ethics and all that kind of stuff comes
Yeah.
into,
Yeah.
because if if I if I don't show my granddaughter, or if I don't show my son that that's not acceptable in this kind of situation, or that's not acceptable in front of me and your grandmother, that's not acceptable. If I don't show them what is acceptable and what's not acceptable, then they think everything's acceptable.
Right.
You see, and then our culture gets worse because of it. What do y'all think about that?
I think we
Yeah.
should. I think as B had made a comment, if they willing, I think that I want to use the pants sagging. Oh, that
Mm.
works my nerves, and they all still do it though. But it does not shut me up. I'm still gonna say, pull your
Mm-hmm.
pants up,
Mm-hmm.
put a belt on, and
Right.
even though I may have to say it several times, I'm still going to continue to say that it's not okay. But when you say we now our parents, well, some of us don't want to take that position.
Yep.
Some of us don't want to be the parents. Some of us don't want to take that title. So when we don't take the title, that's when it declines, because we don't want to take our positions.
Yes, I mean, that is very, very deep, Darlene. What you just said, because it's happening. I know there's grandmamas that won't let their grandchildren call them grandma.
Call them grandma. Yes.
Grandma.
Nana.
Yes.
Nana.
You see what I'm saying? They won't let them call them grandma because they don't want that. They don't want to take that responsibility of
That's
being
crazy to me.
a
That's
grandma.
so crazy.
It is.
Not to mention, a lot of people want to be their children and grandchildren's friends.
Yes.
We talked about that. Remember? We talked about that. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the big thing. I think that's the biggest thing, I think, along with they're seeing so much corruption in high places, in governmental stuff, kids are seeing that. They're hearing their parents talk about that too. But I believe in our communities, that thing with the grandparents and the parents not, wanting to be their kids' friends, or some of them, they don't want to be their friend on the same level, but they approve everything they wear. They approve their sons having 2 and 3 girlfriends. They approve their daughter. They're giving big gigantic baby showers, and I'm not talking about nobody. People do what they want to do, but some of these things are having an effect on these kids and making them feel older. You see a lot of kids going to prom half naked, when we used to didn't do that, so even with the governmental things and the community things, aldermen not like they used to be, everything's kind of changing. They're lowering standards, but I do believe that it's the parents, the wannabe friends, or not friends, but want to dress like them, want to wear their hair like them. I believe that that's a real big issue.
Yes.
In the moral decline.
It most definitely is. These mamas living vicariously through their young daughters.
Yeah. They didn't get a chance to do that. Yeah.
Putting them in booty tight shorts and things of that nature. And drop it, girl. Drop it like that. Girl. And videotaping them. For pornography. That's what it is, because a pervert would take that video off of Facebook and do what they do with it. You know what they do.
But no, we don't know. We
don't know.
But you see what the Kardashians did for their mom did for their empire. Exploit their kids. And guess what? They built the empire. So they see that and figure like, okay, why can't I do that? I want to get up just like the next person want to get up. So again, you have to look at the culture we're in now.
Yeah.
And in this culture, everything is acceptable because everything is about trying to make a dime.
So
let me 15 minutes of fame.
So we're not talking about Black culture no more.
No, the culture period.
We're talking about perverted culture.
The culture period.
Because we ain't talking about white people, we ain't talking about Black people, because everybody doing this crap.
Yes.
That's what she said. The cultural period. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Everything is the culture that we're in. Everything is acceptable now.
But who accepted it? See, that's my question.
Society did. Society did.
We accept. We got to take accountability. We accepted.
Yeah,
we let it go on. We tolerate it. We let them swipe that card through that girl cheek on that song. I forgot what video it was. When they swiped the card on, we drop it to his hot loop, whatever. We went along with this. We thought it was cool. And now we got the residue of that, and it's big. The consequences of it is really huge right now.
Got the president tweeting on X, a page, a book, writing books. What president does that? It's like,
you say what?
You got the president writing books on Twitter, on his social media platforms.
Oh,
you got people. Yeah, you got people taking videos of their butts in the mirrors and posting it on social media for the likes and OnlyFans page. So again, it's the culture we in.
But we didn't have social media to do that though. So I can't say that we wouldn't do the same. We wouldn't have did the same thing. We didn't have
Somebody would have. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
But we got to
You're right.
we got to take some accountability though. We can't keep on looking like something just happened. I think every topic so far that we has talked about, from reverse engineering to emotion intelligence, I think we are taking accountability. I think we all need to stop just pointing the fingers and say, hey, I played a role in this and I'm playing a role in it today, but what are we going to do to change it? I'm tired. I'm ready for a solution. I'm ready for some change.
Right.
No,
so what are we going to do? What are we going to do, guys?
Starting our house. Starting our house.
What
are we doing?
Yeah, well, I think I'm sorry. I think the solution, we're talking about the solution, this is what Brenda says. You say what's right. We was talking about that in another podcast where we were saying, do you let your friends and family members do what's wrong and don't say nothing?
Right.
I mean, it's the same thing. If like Darlene said, if some dudes came over our house, her son and them, and their pants was all down, she immediately tell them to pull their pants up. You know what happens after so long? When they come in your house, they walk through the door pulling their pants up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because you're teaching them how to respect you. You see what I'm saying? But if we're not teaching our children how to respect us, then don't get upset when they disrespect you. See?
But what about humans and not just kids?
Yes. I've been on a bus. I remember being on a CTA bus once. And the kids, a bunch of kids was in the back. And they was using foul language and this, that, and another. And there was an old lady sitting right there by the back door. You know how it's close to the back of the bus? There was an old lady sitting there by the back door exit. And they was going at it, man. You know what? And I'm like, hey, man, y'all, why don't y'all chill out? Y'all being very disrespectful. Don't you see this elderly sister sitting here? And believe it or not, they didn't. What I was expecting was F you, man. Mind your business, done. That's usually what we get, right? But do you know they calmed down? And I went back and sat down and I looked at the old lady and she mouthed, thank you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But most times it won't work like that, though.
Right, but if you don't say nothing, you don't get nothing. Right. What's that song? Closed mouth don't get fed?
That's a lie. Open mouth don't get fed either. So that's a lie.
It's kind of about what was touched upon, and not using the scripture itself, but for me in my house. So whatever I'm allowing in my house is going to show in the streets with my children. So if I discipline my children a certain way, hopefully when they go out into the world, that's what the world will see. Those kids that were quiet and got, under control when you said what you said, 9 out of 10, they come from households where they know when an elder speaks, you do what they say. Now, when you got off the bus and that other lady got off the bus, they probably was like, man, but they knew. Keep it intact while they were here and while you were there in their presence.
Right.
But
see, that's the solution. We have to now. I don't even know if this is true, but I'm just dreaming for a moment. What if by me saying that about my granddaughter and she goes over somebody else's, like a friend of hers house, and it's an elderly man and woman that's there. Maybe they're the parents, maybe they're the grandparents, whatever. And when she comes in the house and she sees them, she zips her jacket up. You see what I'm saying? Out of respect. Right. Then what I did was the process of reversing this thing that we're talking about. Because that's how they started doing that. Somebody said it was okay. If you want to stop it, we got to say it's not okay.
But Tyrone, to piggyback off what you're saying, in this day and age, you got to be careful, because if you say something wrong to the wrong person, that person can be very violent to you, just like that young lady who was attacked on CTA and another person that was attacked. So you got to be careful when you want to be verbal and express what's good, what they should and should not do, because it could backfire. So I guess you have to assess the situation before you say something, because things can go left.
I disagree.
I understand that part of it, but somebody got to be warriors. So somebody got to take that chance. I mean, I think that's why we got here already, because everyone is like, the consequence. If you say something to somebody, kid, you may end up have to fight. You may end up causing issue with your neighbor, and so people start minding their own business.
Right.
And end up dead
because they out of fear of what the consequence is.
Right.
But, you got to be some warriors out here, and like Brenda said, she don't always say the truth. Maybe it ain't for everybody, but the ones who ain't afraid need to speak up and keep on speaking up.
Right. I agree.
Like that 15-year-old who killed the whole family. What? So, like I said, you got to assess the situation before you address it.
Sometimes you don't have it. Sometimes you don't even have a moment.
Assess it.
Wait a minute.
Sometimes you don't even have a second to assess that. Sometimes you hear some stuff or see some stuff and it's automatic. I mean, for some people. And I believe that, and you, Kim, everybody, it is not for everybody, like Darlene said. There's going to be people who say, I'm not getting into that. And the Bible talks about that, us not talking about those people who don't get into it. We don't supposed to judge people and talk about people harshly because they didn't do what we did. Some of us are different from other people. Some people they're going to wash their hands. Some people aren't. I remember, and I think I told this story one time. I was coming around the corner from my house and I saw the police beating up a young man on the ground. My son was on the balcony of our building. My daughters were on the porch. People were watching. I came around the corner and I automatically like, hey, why you got to hit him like that? Why you got to do that? It was automatic for me. So there's going to be people who die for the cause. There's going to be people who get hurt for the cause. But I just believe this, and hey, I know anything can happen. You pray about things, you live your life with, covered, and you just go, and you if you really want to see some change, if you really want things to be different, something in you don't let you just stand back. And I'm not talking about the people who stand back, just some people just not. And I'm sorry, I'm just not going to stand back. I don't call myself a warrior or the greatest, nobody. I mean, my son told me when I got home, he said, Mom, you don't be getting into that. The police could have arrested you. And they did. The police was saying, stand back, ma'am. Get back, ma'am. Sorry, that could have been my son getting beat up. I'm so sorry. That's just what I do.
Yeah, amen.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying anything at all, and we should. I just always think it's important in the way we approach things. I don't think I remember myself being, young 20s, and I'm always about, how you approach me. You know what I'm saying? I could be doing something maybe I don't have no business doing, but if an adult came at me like in a hostile way, it just automatically, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, hold on, man. Like, you could tell me something because I'm always willing to listen. But when the person coming to me and approach me in a certain kind of manner, then I'm automatically like, man, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's just like when you going against, and I'm sorry, when you're talking about changing things and changing, I think it's just, we got to be careful in our approach. You don't want to like raise war. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that just makes things worse. Like when you talk about war on drugs, what happened? More drugs. War on crime, more crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the, like, it's kind of to like a thin line for me. So I agree with y'all. Definitely say something, but not in
yeah,
so much of a, you know, that way where like, yo, young people looking at you like, you know, because I'm big on that. It's like I just remember when I was young, and so I try not to be like, you know, well, they doing this now and they doing that now. It's like, yo, we was young once like that, and we did certain things and had our shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
that's my, you know, my take.
I love that. I love that, V.
But
And you are 1,000% right. You know, because when I said that on that bus today to them young people, I didn't have malice in my heart when I said it.
Right.
You know, I really was trying to say, hey, maybe they weren't aware. Are you aware that this sister is sitting here? You all are being disrespectful. In contrast to, hey, what y'all doing? Y'all need to shut this down right now. I don't know what the hell going on with you young people. See, that's a whole nother spirit.
Right.
And
It's a way to do it. Yeah.
Right. And so, and usually, if you are right in your heart, I was respectful to them young people. I didn't disrespect them, and so I got respect back. You see what I'm saying? I didn't disrespect them. I didn't call them out their names, anything. I ain't call them MFers, little young niggas. I ain't say nothing like that. You see? And so, again, we have to fix us first. You see, because if we messed up and we call ourselves trying to fix the young generation and we coming at them with fire and then don't understand why we getting fire back.
Do you remember?
Yes,
when we were
you
younger?
Say again? Who's it?
Do you remember when we were younger and sometimes you would have an older person or a child out of place, being a little irate? What was one of the things that you would say? Hey, I fight old people and kids, because that told them if you are out of line, I'm getting out of line with you. You're respectful, I'm respectful.
Oh, most definitely. You know, but
wait, back up. So were you saying that to say? Were you saying that to the old person that I fight, or you talking about the kid? You would say that to the kid.
So if it's an older person that was out of line, because you know it's always been some older people who acted a fool and did the most. Hey, I fight old people. If it's a child,
Vanessa.
I'm telling you that was me back then. Now that was one of my favorite things I would say, because you aren't going to disrespect me. If I'm respecting you and I'm in line, you need to stay in line. You know, you can turn the cheek, but sometimes they don't allow you to turn the cheek. They want you to get to their level, and sometimes I would just have to come to their level with them. I'm not gonna lie.
But what you're saying, Vanessa, is basically almost like what V just was saying. It's how they come to you. You see what I'm saying? If this is how young people feel too. If you come to me out of pocket, I fight old people. I will knock your old butt out. You know, that's
what I'm saying though. I hear that nowadays. Now I never did. I mean, I know I'm a lot older than you, Vanessa, but I didn't back then. We weren't hearing none of that. That was not happening when I was growing up as a young girl, teenager. That was not happening. I don't care how old they were, or now I might call them ignorant. I probably didn't back then. But no, when they were older, we didn't say nothing. You walked away. If they were, because it was people who were older and ignorant and, you know, drunk or saying, hollering at you, talking to you. No, we just walked away. And today, now, I hear young people say, if they want me to respect them, they got to respect me. I can't let that go. I will not let my granddaughters and my daughters or grandkids say anything about if they got to come to me correct. I'm not at you, Vanessa. I'm just saying. I'm just talking about no. I wish a teenager, one of my teenagers would tell somebody if they need to come at me correct. I'm 16 now. I wish. I wish.
No, I'm not saying I would react that way to everyone, but like I said, sometimes you
I
would
know.
get
I'm
a
just saying,
person
an
that
adult.
wasn't just going to just say a few things, and you had older people that would be walking behind you, trying to start stuff with you. Now I don't know where you grew up at. Well, I do know where you grew up with, but I don't know how the people acted back then. But I done grew up around some doozies. And
I
some of
have
those
too. I did
old
too.
people
I'm not,
are
like I
worse
said, I'm
than
not
the
at you.
young ones.
I'm not at you. I'm not. Hey, you did what you did.
No.
We did things. I did what
And
I did. That was something
nowadays,
I just didn't do. That's all.
yeah,
Not to
nowadays I
older
would.
people. No, not to the
Nowadays I
older people.
probably would ignore them, but back then
Yeah,
I would
I
try to
ignored
ignore you, but you're not gonna walk up on me and do all that talk. No, it wasn't
But
happening.
let me ask this: as far as when we say take our seats or our position, so as parents, we need to take our position.
How about elders? How about elders, Darlene?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say,
because you don't have to be a parent to correct a child.
right? But what I'm trying to say is that there's more positions than just being the elderly or being a parent or grandparent. To me, that's also different positions. Like if you think about in the 60s, you had people who non-confrontational, like Martin Luther King, who would like to walk, maybe protest. And then you got the Malcolm X people. Then you got some Black Panther people. You got some people that, and I'm just saying that people take their positions, and everybody is not aggressive. Everybody is not warriors, but the ones who are get together, and the ones who are going to protest the nice way, and try to teach from a different angle or perspective, get together. But we all got to take our position, whatever we created to do. Let me do my part and you do your part, and we may be different. We may have different approach, but all the ones who's willing to take that risk take that call, and let them all get together. And the ones who want to walk to protest and to get the knowledge out there and teach us a different way, a softer way, then they all get together. But we all need to do something, though. We can't just sit back and say, I'm waiting on this one, or I'm waiting on this person, I'm waiting. Whatever way you want to do it, come on, just come on.
Do it.
I answer both sides. That was good right there.
Yeah, amen. I agree.
What he say?
He said,
I say that she kind of just answered like both sides today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the Martin and Malcolm, you know what I'm saying, example, like two different approaches with the Panthers and everything, all the different approaches, but the same of, like the effect it all took them, they still made great change.
What they did.
And either way, they was all warriors. You know what I'm saying? They, like y'all said, y'all got to be warriors, Yeah.
But we can't be afraid. I think that's the bottom line. Because see, if I was afraid of what might have happened, I think then that's the thing. We watch TV and we watch the news and we read papers and we hear gossip about what YNs do and and all that kind of crap. And so when you see one, then fear of what might happen enters into us. And we can't live our life in fear. You got to live your life on what is right and do what is right. Say what is right, and don't be afraid, because if I had been afraid on that bus, I wouldn't have said nothing. You see what I'm saying? But the fact that I did say something and I didn't say it out of anger. And I think that's a lot of times what we do. We react out of anger instead of reacting out of love. You see, and people can pick up on that. It's just like, I hate to use a dog as an analogy, but you can go to a dog with a angry spirit, a dog you ain't never seen before, and that dog will return that anger. Or you can come to that dog with a loving spirit, and the dog will sense that and return that spirit, that love to you. Now,
or he might just bite you anyway.
See, that's the fear again. You see?
No. Some dogs don't care how you come. They might bite you anyway.
How many dogs have you approached and got bitten?
I don't approach dogs.
Don't approach them.
0.
I don't approach them.
So that means you don't know. That's what that means. You don't know.
All I said,
you talking out of fear.
There we go. All I said is that he might have bit you. That's a possibility. That's all.
But I
That's
want to
it.
piggyback off what Tyrone just said. We're talking about pets. It was a situation where a lady held the door open for a young lady at a Petco. She was an older woman. I wouldn't say she was an elderly, but she was an older woman. She held the door open for the girl. The girl walked through, didn't speak, and the lady said, "Man, you could have spoke."
Yeah.
They got into an altercation. The girl shot her dead.
Yes. I remember that.
But now, let me ask you this, Kim.
She was being polite, holding the door open for her. The girl did not speak. And the woman was like, "Man, you could have spoke. You could have said thank you. You could have said something." And I found that to be true because when you're in the stores, and I was told that these workers, when you greet them, you say, "Hello, how you doing?" They'd appreciate that. I did that on several times and I didn't get no response back. I'm like, just rude. So
yeah, but you didn't say anything more though, right? When they're rude,
I said that was just rude. I'm like, you
right,
rude.
and you just keep going, right?
No, I sat there and wait for my answer, but I'm like, that was just rude.
Oh, get out.
But wait a minute.
I need to know where something was. And it's like, if I'm coming at you, like you said, Tyrone, with a good spirit, but yet it said you greet me with an evil one. Come on now.
Yeah, but it's how you respond to that is
right
where the change comes in. What I'm saying is there's two ways you can respond. You say, "Hey, good morning." They don't say anything. Your response is going to be based on how them not responding made you feel.
Right. Because I came to you with a kind heart, kind spirit, and you greet me with an evil one. What you expect me to do?
Now this also check this out. If you respond to that person, I know you might be having a bad day, but you know, God loves you and I do too. Have a blessed day. Now that's one response.
That's a lie.
Another response is the other response is out of anger. Did your mama teach you any damn manners? I just said hello. Didn't your mama teach you how to say hello to people when they say hello to you? Which one are you gonna receive?
My mama didn't. She said you ain't got to talk to
whether your mama did or not. I'm saying in those two scenarios I just gave you, which one would you receive?
I was like, you know what? I know where this is going. Where your supervisor?
See, you can't answer.
I just did.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I just did. I know where this is going. Where's your supervisor?
No. I said out of the two scenarios I just gave you, which is, I know you're probably having a bad day. God loves you and I do too.
I'm not saying that because that's a lie.
I'm not saying you did. I'm saying out of two scenarios, that's one. And the
other answer
one
of his scenarios. Please answer that. Which one would you have done?
I'm not gonna lie to that person. I'm not gonna lie to that person. And the second one, I see where this is going. Where's your supervisor? Those are my two answers to your two scenarios.
So Kim is a perfect example of why we can't teach our young people anything because we are angry with them.
No, it's not that. I'm not.
Yes,
I'm not going to respond to negativity. I see where this is going, so let me change this before it goes to where I know it's going. Where's your supervisor?
So you're gonna get that person fired because they didn't say
that's not my concern.
See,
I'm trying to figure out where this item is. And you address me with an evil attitude. I need to find out what this item is so I can go out the store and do my business.
Sometimes we gotta hit people with a little grace because we always talk about this. We don't know what someone is going through. A lot of times people are going through
That was great.
That was not great, Kim.
That was great. Asking for your supervisor. That was great.
No. But let's say this person is having the worst time of their life. They got up that morning and came to work. They didn't mean to intentionally be rude to you, but your reaction to them could send them over the edge. And I think that's why we always have to, like I said, extend
And
the
you don't
little
think your
grace.
reaction could trigger me?
You are triggered.
You guys see what Tracy?
Like you just ready to be triggered.
When you're in a public setting, when you deal
we
with
got people talking to us, guys. Tracy, read what Tracy said, guys.
Okay.
I've
worked where I walked into the area and spoke, and no one said nothing. And my response was to have a good day anyway.
Anyway, yeah, done that too.
Exactly. And
not where your supervisor.
And you know, so I think being from Chicago and spending time in the South, I noticed it's a lot of difference between the people. Here, if someone speaks to you, hey, how you doing? Do I know you? Why are you speaking to me? But down south, everybody's waving, blowing their horn. Who was that? I don't know. They've been up the road.
Well, I was born in Mississippi. So I speak to everybody.
That's kind of like custom down there. But when we come up north, like a lot of our behaviors just seem mean and rude compared to down there. And now you have a lot of northern transplants in the South, and you're seeing it turn a little. You know, it doesn't hurt to say thank you or good morning, good afternoon, even if you're having a bad day.
That's all I'm saying.
Just wait.
But it's also
closing thoughts. Come on, oh God.
Right, but it's also somewhere we have to still take responsibility of being that energy shifter. We could shift that energy ourselves. Like if we say we want to do to people as we want to be treated, we want people to treat us as we want to treat people as we want to be treated. Then what if we all are human? We all are short. We all have bad days. And what if that person was having a bad day and only thing you had to say was, "You having a rough day, baby?" And that would just, because it could not make that guarantee, but it could shift the energy that mostly behind evil or bad spirits or bad vibe is some hurt somewhere. Some hurt somewhere.
And they tell you, "Now I ain't had no bad day. I'm good." Then what? Then what?
Then you just walk away. Some things you just. Now you told us to walk. You told us it's a way to talk to people. We need to be careful.
And that's why we assess the situation.
Wait, hold up.
And if you told us left, you go right.
Okay. But now you don't assess the situation. You don't walk away. You want to say,
I said, "Where's your supervisor?" Right. That's walking away. That's walking away.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But Kim, that's you redefining. You're redefining your actions to make it seem like you did something good and you didn't. Everybody on this podcast,
I say, "Hey, how you doing?" And you don't say.
They don't say nothing. They don't say nothing. They didn't say FUB. They didn't say nothing.
They just looked at me like, "What?"
So why do you need to see their supervisor if they just didn't respond the way you wanted to?
Because I need to find my stuff, and I don't like your attitude, and I don't want to get into all.
But you didn't ask them for your stuff. You just said hi, and they didn't speak back.
You never said, because I didn't like your vibe. Like Tyrone said, the energy was bad.
Your energy was bad, Kim.
So let me speak to management so I can find what I need.
We love you, Kim. We love you. My energy is not bad.
Sending a hug, Kim. I'm sending a hug.
We are all a work in progress. We are all a work in progress.
We are right, Kim. That was your day. We had days. We done had days. Believe us, all of us. I had days. Like Darlene keep throwing it back at us. That all of us take responsibility for your stuff. Go on, Darlene. Get us. We the cause of some stuff too. Go ahead. All right.
My closing thought, y'all. We at the end of the show. My closing thought is that if we don't do nothing, then won't nothing change. I'm gonna say it again. If we don't do nothing, if we don't say nothing, when we see wrong, if we don't point wrong out, if we don't try to correct the wrong that we see, then we are responsible for the BS that comes. That's my closing thought.
I disagree because I tried to correct the wrong, and guess what? I almost went to jail.
Wait a minute.
I went to jail, so I'm
Wait a
done
minute.
with that.
What's your closing thought, Kim? Go ahead, give your closing thought.
I tried to correct the wrong, and I almost went to jail.
Okay, anybody else have a closing thought?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
So finding our way back one by one, individual, as Darlene said, it starts with us in our house, joining with like-minded people and trying to make a difference with the thought of making a difference in this world. That's my closing thought.
Thank you, Brenda. I love that. Anybody else?
My closing thought is be the change you want to see.
Yes.
All right.
Amen. Yes, yes. I'm
Man,
loving this.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
All right, we all good. Hey, we didn't get halfway through this. We didn't even talk about road rage and the effect.
That's good. That's good.
Rage.
You might run everybody over. Let's not.
Rage, period.
We had some rage. We had some rage out here, just wasn't on the road.
Rage, period.
But hey, I thank you guys for being on. Hey, who's on here? Tracy. Thank you, Tracy, for your comments. Yolanda.
Who is that, Tracy?
This is my cousin, Tracy.
Oh, okay. Hi, cousin Tracy.
She probably think we crazy.
No,
Yeah,
Tracy,
a lot of people probably think we crazy.
Tracy, this ain't her first time on here. She done seen us before.
Oh, okay. She already know. Okay.
Yep. Peaches. Thank you, Peaches.
And
Sasa,
Peaches.
she was on here.
That's I was laughing.
She was laughing.
Yes, she was.
Quee was on here. Quee.
Yeah.
She made some beautiful comments. And Pooh was on here. So we thank all of you all for being there. We're going to be back next week with another hot, hopefully not heated, with rage conversation. But until then, live in your truth and be peaceful.
All right, that's that.
Thanks for supporting our podcast. We look forward to see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. We also ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. The more subscribers we have, the more YouTube will push our podcast to more viewers. But until then, subscribe also for a peaceful mind. Your activity will reflect that peace.